Oh my goodness. I am just astonished at what I saw on my last trip to the grocery store. I wound up taking so many pictures, and I knew I had to share it with you because it is that time of year. And so we are going to have a little trip around almost every aisle of the grocery store so I can show you what I saw there. Now we're going to take just a minute and turn this on and hit play. Here we go. So Starbucks started something. Pumpkin spice latte. And I want to, first of all, talk about what is pumpkin spice. And it is a mixture of spices, which includes cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and cloves, usually used for pumpkin pie. And nowadays, it's been added to a lot of things. The whole world goes crazy in October because apparently it's pumpkin spice latte time, and it's been so successful that they want to pumpkin spice everything. I was amazed. And so I just want to take a few quick minutes to go through this with you and talk about what I saw and maybe point out a few things. Pumpkin spice latte, Bolthouse Farms now has a coffee beverage. Apparently, that tells me that Starbucks did not trademark pumpkin spice latte. I guess they're maybe a little sorry that they didn't do that, but that's okay. And regardless of whether it's pumpkin spice latte time or not, depending on what you think about pumpkin spice, I personally don't drink coffee, so I never got into the pumpkin spice latte habit. And I never really thought about it that much. There is a nourishing beverage that I like that does have those warming spices in it, which is great, but I'm just really still very astonished by the grocery store. Regardless of what you're doing, you need to read the label. And this one in particular has carrageenan, not a good choice. There's other things in here that we don't particularly like. We don't know what natural flavors are. And there is some soy isolate in there. Not a huge fan of soy. But here's the thing, you still got to read the label regardless of what it says on the front. So this is a coffee beverage, pretty typical. Now, apparently we have pumpkin pie almonds, and I'm pretty sure that the only reason they're doing this is because of the pumpkin spice craze. And this is going to have colors, and there's soy lecithin in there and some other things. I don't know why anybody would want to do this to a perfectly good almond. If you like almonds, eat almonds. If you want pumpkin spice on your almonds, then season them with that and enjoy that as a snack. Don't wrap it in sugar. Just a thought. Okay. Bobo's, which is apparently some kind of a cookie thing, now has a limited edition pumpkin spice oat bar. And again, we're just looking to put pumpkin spice into anything, but we have to read the label. So there's sugars and other things in there. We even have pumpkin spice soap. I did not get the ingredients on this. I just thought it was hilarious that they made pumpkin spice soap. Not just one. Now there's several pumpkin spice soaps that you can find at the grocery store. And I'm thinking this is pretty funny. But wait, there's more. We have pumpkin seed and spice. And this is HEB, which happens to be my local grocery store. So now even some of the private label brands are glomming onto the whole pumpkin spice idea. And I think it's crazy when you think about just how much pumpkin spice you can eat walking around the grocery store if you look at all the different things that have suddenly become pumpkin spiced. Next, we have high protein coffee with pumpkin spice, and I'm realizing that I didn't organize these very well. I did them as I came across them in the grocery store and then threw it onto this slideshow. But it's another beverage that is going to have pumpkin spice. This one, front of package labeling, man, they're talking about 1 gram of sugar here. And when we look over here, that's on the ingredients, that's because they have sucralose in there. So they're throwing artificial sweetener in there so that they can use front of package labeling to tell you that it's low in sugar. Not something you want. We really don't want the artificial sweeteners. Quest, another snack bar, is doing the pumpkin pie thing, although they're calling theirs pumpkin pie, not pumpkin spice. But it is a limited seasonal edition. And I guess the reason they're calling it pumpkin pie is because they don't want to get in trouble potentially for the pumpkin spice thing. I don't know. Then we have more coffee. Lots of coffee with pumpkin spice. And this one makes me laugh because it says naturally flavored with pumpkin spice and other natural flavors. And the picture on the back came out too blurry, so I couldn't show it to you. So I don't know what the other natural flavors are in there, but natural flavors with more natural flavors is apparently the order of the day here. And then we have Swiss Miss pumpkin spice flavored with other natural flavors again. And this, unfortunately, lots of people like hot cocoa. I get it. Hot cocoa is delicious and warming and comforting on a cold fall or winter day. However, this has corn syrup, and it also has hydrogenated fat, hydrogenated coconut oil. Not a good choice. If you really want pumpkin spice in your hot cocoa, make hot cocoa, add your own pumpkin spice. Just my 2 cents on that. All right, now we have pumpkin flavored muffin bars. And there's so many ingredients in this that I am not even going to break this down for you. If you see that many, walk away. No, don't walk, run. Don't buy that. All right, now we have pumpkin spice bites. These are mini rice cakes reimagined. And again, we've got these little cakes that they're going to add cornstarch, and they've also got natural flavors again. I'm over the whole pumpkin spice thing. It almost makes me not want to have pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving, which is a really sad thought because I like pumpkin pie, but I'm just getting overwhelmed by all the pumpkin spice messaging that I'm seeing here. Pumpkin spice Cheerios, man. Apparently Cheerios wants to get in on the action. So one thing that I really wanted to point out to you, and I circled this for you, contains bioengineered food ingredients. And what that means is that some of the ingredients in there, probably the corn from the cornstarch, the corn that's in the refiner's syrup, and the canola are genetically modified. But instead of saying genetically modified, they're saying contains bioengineered food ingredients because they think it sounds better and that you as a consumer are not smart enough to be able to figure out that means it's genetically modified. So if you didn't know, I'm here to tell you bioengineered is essentially the same as genetic modification. There's some technical differences there, but really it's modified in a way that is not what we want to be consuming. So I did look at the pet food aisle to see if they were going to make pumpkin spice pet food. And the answer is no, doesn't look like they did. I did not go down the headache aisle of death. This for me is a very dangerous aisle because I get headaches from all the heavy fragrances and the chemically smells. I would not be surprised if there's something in there that's pumpkin spice because they did soap, but I didn't want to go down there and get a headache to check it out. So I just took a picture of the aisle for you. Cookies. Are we noticing a trend here? It tends to mostly be the beverages and the sweets that are being pumpkin spiced here. So we have pumpkin spice cookies. And another thing that we have going into the sweets is ice cream. So we have pumpkin pie, spiced pumpkin ice cream. And I'm just really astonished that I'm wondering what else they're going to do. There was more than one ice cream. There was another one, a pumpkin spice swirl ice cream. And so it's really overwhelming at the grocery store. Almost every single aisle has all these different things. Even in the frozen food section, we have gluten-free pumpkin spiced waffles. So they're really taking this pumpkin spice thing as far as they can. It's a limited season, admittedly. It generally, I don't even know when it comes out. I should have looked that up, but it happens, I believe, sometime at the beginning of October and goes maybe until Thanksgiving. I don't know, but it's not very long and everybody's trying to capitalize on it. And just because it says pumpkin spice is not a reason to buy it, especially because some of those pumpkin spice, like this says pumpkin spice flavor, and it's got a little asterisk, which means it's organic. Are they using the spices? I don't think so, because if they were using the spices, they would. So that means that it's some sort of a flavoring agent that they're using because they didn't want to put spices in there. I don't know, much better to use the spices. So here's my thinking. If you want to spice things up and you want to be able to enjoy pumpkin pie, pumpkin spice, here's how you make your own. Super simple. You can do it with ingredients that you have or can easily obtain at the grocery store. My recommendation, if you have a grocery store that has a bulk bin, get them from the bulk bin. It's much cheaper than buying them in those little bottles. And you can modify this. Like more cinnamon, put more cinnamon in. In my house, we don't tend to use cloves because we're not a huge fan of the cloves. So we leave that out. But really, you can make your own and add it to anything you want if you want to enjoy pumpkin spice. So that is my take on the overwhelming array of pumpkin spice. And I didn't even really look that hard. So I'm not sure I found everything that they had at the grocery store, but that was more than enough to let me know that the world's kind of going crazy for pumpkin spice. What's your take on that? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks, folks. Bye.